Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Naruto was Nero. Now, I know some of you are gonna be like, wait, the character from Black Clover? Not that person, okay? Not the, what's it called, female that has horns and all that, and can seal things. No, not her, okay? Just throw that out of the fucking window, okay? I just want to mention that now. Not that person, okay? I'm talking about the person from Double May, yeah, Double May Cry. yeah, Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry 4 and 5. Basically, it's just a continuance of like 4 and 5, okay? So I'm talking about that Nero. Not the one from Black Clover. Okay, yeah. Don't freaking comment the freaking comment saying, "Oh, you talking about the one from Black Clover? Don't you know that the?" I'm like, shut the fuck up, bitch. I said from Devil May Cry. For fuck's sakes, I don't want any fucking comments like that. Now, okay, let me mention something. Nero and Naruto have. I just want to say one thing. I was kind of like watching a little bit of how Nero is, and Nero and Naruto have similar personalities. Somewhat. I just want to say that. Because this what if is what if Naruto was Nero. So Naruto is gonna be the son of Virgil. Okay, I know some of you are gonna say, how is that gonna work? Well, Minato isn't really the real father for Naruto. It's Virgil. Now Virgil came out of nowhere and not had a drunken time. He just kinda drunk a little bit with Kushina, and yeah, after that Virgil dipped, just like in Devil May Cry. That's how I'm gonna be doing it. So yeah, Naruto is born, but of course he has blonde hair, blue eyes, and whisker marks, so he's still gonna be like that. Of course, what's it called, a seal was put on him because of the whole Naruto still happens. Everything will still go the same. So yeah. Now, I know some of you are going to be wondering, when is Demon Bringer going to be here? Or when is that going to be there? Blah, blah, blah. Don't mention. I have got it. I'm going through the what if, okay? Now, Naruto is still named Naruto Uzumaki and not Nero Uzumaki because, well, Kushina and Minato was the one to name him. But Naruto, okay. Let's go into Naruto's kind of view of life. So Naruto is 4 years old, of course. What they call, when he was 4 years old, they were mentioning that Naruto was a demon. So of course, what's it called? Donzo still was the one saying that Naruto was a demon. And I mean, he's not wrong, but he's not right at the same time. Sorry about that. But let me go back into it. So of course, this is where, well, when Naruto was he was thrown into a apartment. He was just thrown to a curb into apartments. By Hiruzen. So Naruto had to fend for himself. Of course, people didn't like him or anything and hated him. So of course, Naruto had to go through life, and of course, what's it called? When he was 5 years old, he was like, not 5. He was 6 years old, he still met Hinata, but Hinata wasn't much of the greatest. She just ran away and all that and left Naruto there to get his ass beat. So yeah. Naruto kind of felt inferior. Now, because, Hinata didn't even help him or anyone that actually helped him. When he was like, 7 years old, he was just, when he was 7 years old, he went to a place, like in the playground. He was just sitting on like the monkey bars and all that. Or some like, just a monkey bar and all that. He was just sitting there, and of course, this is where Shikamaru, Choji, Sasuke, and Ino came to kind of tell Naruto that where is that one rain kid, the reanimation rain kid and all that. Because if you remember that episode, yeah, that's still fucked up. They protect an outsider instead of Naruto, who's in the that sucks. But of course, that's where Ino, Sasuke, and Shikamaru are pretty angry at Naruto. Choji will be here to kind of like not angry at Naruto, and Naruto can see this. He even says that it's bullshit of you to actually protect an outsider. and still look at me with hatred in your eyes. So yeah, Naruto in this one is gonna be changed a lot more than original canon. Instead of him having a happy face, well, he still will have that mask and all that. But yeah, he's still just a little bit. It's just mask, not his real self. His real self. So yeah, he does pranks and all that. Yeah. So we'll go into the what's it called, academy, and of course it's just original Naruto and all that. But of course is where not original Naruto. We're going to Naruto when he was 7. He ran away from the what's it called, group. Naruto was pretty angry. Of course, he doesn't feel any love. The only love he actually felt was from the old man. But then again, he doesn't know exactly how to feel about the old man, since the old man threw him into a fucking not orphanage, but mostly a what's it called, apartments, and said, "Fend for yourself." Not really what Hiruzen said, but yeah. Naruto bumped into what's it called, this older kid, and of course Naruto thought he was actually gonna be attacked by the older person, until the older kid was actually kind of like giving Naruto a hand. So this older kid is someone that actually is also an orphan. Not from the Nine Tails attack, but just his family died. So yeah. So of course this older kid has a sister. Oh well, no, let me say that again. So yeah, what's it called? This older kid, his name is what's it called, what's it called? I want to call him Kratos because that's what, but nah, I'm not gonna call him Kratos. I'm gonna call him Karan. So of course this is where Karan was actually someone to help Naruto. When of course Karan is about 2 years older than Naruto. So Karan is what's it called, 9 years old, while Naruto's only 7. Of course, Karan, I'm gonna call him something else. His name is Kusa, and of course, he helped Naruto with a lot of things by like kind of teaching him how to write, read, and kind of like a lot of things. Of course, Kusa was kind of like, he kind of believed in God and all that, like being a good priestess, or not priestess, mostly kind of being a good person and all that. So yeah. Kusa was the only one to actually help Naruto instead of the old man. So of course, Kusa was actually someone that actually noticed Naruto always getting glared at. And Kusa has always told Naruto to, wonder why they hate him. Naruto says he doesn't know, and Kusa just wonder why that's happening. So of course Kusa told Naruto to never show his hatred because that's not what God would do, and blah blah blah. But yeah. And also Kusa does have like a cross, like a necklace of a cross and all that. So yeah. But of course, this is where, he actually wanted to support, what's it called, himself and Naruto. Because, since Naruto kind of gets paid from the Hokage a little bit. But yeah. And also, Kusa kind of does work as a vegetable kind of seller, or what's it called, paperboy or anything like that. He does work in that and all that, trying to kind of support Naruto and him. But yeah, he's now thinking of going into the academy. Because he's 9 years old, so yeah. But of course, this is where Naruto, he doesn't spend the money at all and actually gives it to Kusan, because Kusan does not get glared at, he doesn't get charged or anything like that. Of course, Naruto, when he turned 8 years old, and Kusan was kind of already in the academy. Well, not in the academy. Kusan decided not to go into the academy because he doesn't want to actually become a ninja. He's actually smarter than that. But yeah. He actually started working in a priestess kind of like, a priestess kind of, study under a priest and all. So he went to kind of go study under a priest and all that, because he wanted to kind of follow like sort of God's will and all that. So yeah. Of course, Naruto, when he was 8 years old, he was put in the academy and all that. Let me go into Naruto being kind of 12 years old. So I'm just going to skip the academy and all that because, yeah, no one really cares that much. Of course, he's still kind of like in the same classroom with like the other heirs and all that. So, yeah. But Naruto was kind of like trying to become a ninja so he can actually support, him and his kind of, somewhat they just said they say brothers to each other, his older brother, because Kusan is the only one to actually kind of, well, be friendly to Naruto. And it's kind of love him, okay? Of course, this is where Kusan, he is, well, 14 right now. And of course, he is kind of like, what's it called? Into his like second year trying to become a priest and all. Or not second year, into his like couple of years trying to become a priest and all. He's already like good at preaching and all that, blah blah blah. But yeah. Of course, this is where Naruto, he has kind of been bullied the whole time of when he was in the, well, before he met Kusan and even in the academy. But of course, he never told Kusan that because he wanted Kusan to actually go into, well, a place that he actually likes. He doesn't want to bother him with his life. So yeah, of course, in the academy, everything will still go the same until when Naruto does the shadow clone, he can't do it because, well, it's the worst kind of clone and all that. Of course, Naruto kind of still has a relationship with what's called Aruka to kind of, well, be kind of friends and all that. But yeah. Of course, where, well, Naruto, he has that. And of course, this is where what's called. He still kind of like fails and all that. Mizuki still tells him to steal the scroll ceiling. And yeah. Of course, Mizuki was trying to kill Naruto and all that. Where was Kusan? Kusan was still kind of studying, and he was kind of taking a little too long on that like one day because, well, he was actually finishing like a couple of papers and all that. Of course, is where, well, Aruka still blocked what's called an attack from, well, Mizuki, and when Naruto saw this, he still used his multi-shadow clone jutsu to fight against what's called Mizuki, but this is where Naruto's arm started glowing a little bit. This is where Naruto's arm just stops glowing. But yeah. This is where, well, Naruto was put on a team called Team 7. Everything original canon for Team 7 was still called the same. I'm skipping the build test because that really doesn't change that much. But yeah. Of course, Naruto is kind of wanting power to kind of protect a little bit of like his family members or friends a little bit. Now, he doesn't see Sasuke that much of a friend and all that, but after a while, somewhat. He wants to be friends with Sasuke. He kind of sees a little bit of himself in Sasuke, but yeah. This is where, well, Naruto was going on a C-rank mission. Okay, so the, what's it called? D-rank mission still called the same. Naruto was glared at. Yeah, you get the point. But of course, this is where Naruto, and being the C-rank mission and all that, of course, this is where Kusan kind of was informed about that. Well, he managed to get information about that. And of course, when Naruto kind of told him, because he was at that kind of, what's it called? He was at the house and all that. And of course, this is where Kusan then told Naruto to be okay and all that. So yeah. This is where, well, when Naruto was going on the C-rank mission, Kusan was also going somewhere else, out of the village. So yeah. Of course, when Naruto went on the C-rank mission with what's called Kakashi, Tazuna, and even what's called Sasuke and Useless. But yeah. Now, of course, this is where Naruto still kind of be flirty a little bit to Sasuke, but you know, that's just because his mask. But yeah. Now, of course, this is where, well, they are going into the fight with what's called Zabuza still. And Kakashi still gets trapped. Of course, everything will still go the same. But one thing kind of changes. Naruto, well, what's it called? Naruto did kind of get a cut in his arm a little bit. But when Naruto punches what's called Zabuza, it felt like Zabuza got punched by a kind of brick wall. It doesn't know why, but yeah. Now, this is where, what's it called? We go, what's it called? Out of Zabuza still getting hit by Senbons and all. Okay, we're just going to go all the way to Haku, okay? Because I don't want to be kind of dealing with this problem, okay? Because, well, everything will still go the same. Of course, Naruto still kind of be friendly to, what's it called? Inari? And, of course, this is where, well, they meet Haku. Well, Naruto meets Haku. Haku tells him that he gets stronger when he loves someone or anything like that. His loved ones, to protect his loved ones and all. And of course, Naruto kind of gets that information and actually takes it to heart. because the only person that he kind of have as an older brother and he loves and all, like a brother and all, is, well, his brother Kusan. And his brother Kusan is right now trying to be, well, following in his career and all that. Now, of course, this is where Haku still fights against Naruto and Sasuke. Naruto sees that Sasuke gets hurt and uses the Nine-Tails power. Of course, something really changes with Naruto a little bit. Naruto's eyes goes red, but then yellow a little bit, like yellow slicked. And of course, Naruto managed to punch with the Haku and broke his mask and all that. And yeah, break him out of the ice domain. Of course, Naruto's eyes goes back into red for some reason. But yeah, now of course is where, well, that did happen. Naruto did punch him and all that, and Sasuke was unconscious. Of course, a mist was happening and all that, but something behind Naruto appeared, like a demonic force kind of appeared behind Naruto, and Naruto did punch with the well, how should I say, what was it fucking called? Haku. Still punched a shit of him, and Haku was knocked out. Of course, he didn't see the demonic presence that much, but he was knocked out to forget about it. But yeah, of course, Naruto's eyes went back to red, and the crimson chakra was still happening around him, but yeah. But he felt calm. He didn't feel like anger that much. This is where, well, something happened inside. Kurama was like, interesting boy. What the hell is that? See, I feel demonic chakra, but that doesn't make any sense. Well, maybe I'll see him more in the near future. He goes back to sleep and all that. So, of course, with that happening, Zabuza still kind of like tries to kill Kakashi. Kakashi adores him. Of course, Zabuza still fights against God. So, yeah, everything would go the same. Now, the bridge would still be called the Great Naruto Bridge. And yeah, we go into, well, them going back to a village. But when Naruto goes into the office, like the Hokage office, this is where Naruto sees like someone kind of like in a white kind of like bedsheet and all that, in cloth. And this is where, well, Team 7 was dismissed and all that. They were like said they can leave and all that. Kakashi left and all that. And this is where before Naruto was about to leave the old man's office, he was like, okay, bye, Gigi. This is where Hiruzen says, Naruto, wait. Naruto stopped and he kind of heard the old man's voice and tone and all that. Like if he was going to tell him bad news. Naruto turned around and says, yes, Gigi. This is where Hiruzen says, Naruto, I'm sorry to tell you this, but Kusan is dead. He died on, well, the way to not the way to a place and all that. He died from coming back from his kind of learning with the priestess and all that. They're trying to. He got attacked by some C-rank ninjas and, well, not C-rank ninja. He died from some S-rank ninja. This is where Naruto heard this and he froze. Kusan, the only person that actually was somewhat his brother, has just died to an S-rank ninja. I don't know why I couldn't speak that, but to an S-rank ninja. This is where Naruto, he fell down on his knees and started crying. He says, no, that can't be impossible. No, not him. He's getting angrier and angrier, but sad at the same time. That's where Hiruzen goes towards him and kind of hugs him and all, and says, I'm sorry, my boy. This is where Naruto says, can I see him? That's where Hiruzen says, yes. He's outside. That's why I told some almost to get his body. So Naruto goes outside, sees the blanket and the white kind of like white blanket over the body and all that. Naruto goes towards it, like kind of like takes off the blanket from the person's face and all that, and this is Kusan's dead body. Kusan's dead body has a giant slash towards his, torso. This is where Naruto is getting angry and anger seeing this, but of course sad at the same time. He says, Kusan, I was powerless. I couldn't. I shouldn't. I should be the one to take that mission. So of course the mission was kind of taken by another team, to a C rank. It was only a C rank mission because mostly it was just protecting Kuzan and the priest and all. Now that priest was kind of like safe and sound and all that, because the other ninjas that kind of took it, it was just some Genin and all that, and one Jonin. And of course, this is where the Jonin thought his Genin was more important. Well, not really more important, but mostly the older priest was more important than Kuzan. So of course, Kuzan did get killed by the S-rank ninja. Now I mentioned who the S-rank ninja was to kill him. But yeah. Now of course, Naruto was saddened. He saw his brother's like dead, cold body. And of course, Naruto was feeling rage, but then he just stopped. He just says, "I'm sorry." This is where he kind of closed up the, he just put back the blanket over what's called Kuzan's face and walked away. It's where Naruto, he was kind of told by Kakashi that the Chunin exams are going to come and all. And yeah, in 1 week. And of course, Kakashi did kind of, didn't hear about Kuzan's death because he doesn't know about Naruto's family life or anything like that. So yeah, and he disappeared, not even asking what's wrong with Naruto. Naruto saw this and says, "No one really cares about me. Kuzan, you're the only one to care about me. I'll kill whoever killed you." Now, of course, this is where Naruto started training on it and trying to get stronger. That's where Naruto, he decides to kind of go towards a weapon shop, mostly kind of blacksmith or anything like that, just into a weapon shop and all that, to buy a sword or a weapon or anything like that. This is where Naruto, he's just walking around in the weapon shop. Now the weapon shop owner is kind of looking at him, but just with cackling eyes and not hatred in his eyes. And Naruto can kind of feel this, but Naruto just doesn't care. He goes up and sees this one weapon. This one weapon that kind of stand out to him and all that. Naruto sees this sword, the Red Queen. That's what it's mostly called, like. I think so. Yeah, it's called the Red Queen. So, of course, this is where, Naruto sees this sword, and as he goes towards it, he picks it up with what's called his right arm, and it doesn't, weigh that much. Of course, this is where Naruto, he goes up to the front office, not the front office, the front, what's it called, cashier and all that, into the blacksmith and all that. And this is where Naruto puts it on the table. And this is where the blacksmith says, "Good eye you have there, kid. Very good eyes. It seems that you managed to figure out, what kind of sword you want. Even though it looks like it's a little too big for you, you were able to, hold it up without any, This is where he says, and he's struggling. I'm surprised. A kid like you can, not struggle with the sword. That's where Naruto says, yeah, whatever. This is where the blacksmith can actually see Naruto's kind of, in this angry mood and all that. So the blacksmith says, okay, this will be how much it costs. Naruto kind of saw that it was kind of a little cheaper than he would originally thought. He brought a lot of money and all that, knowing that people were going to charge him and all that. But this person said, "Don't worry, kid. This sword I didn't really made it a long time ago. My great-grandfather made it. And so, with this sword being kind of very old and in my family's kind of generations, you will be able to kind of get this in a cheaper price. Now, this sword's name is called the Red Queen. Take good care of her." This is where Naruto nodded. And so he paid and then walked away. Now, of course, this is where the man says, "Good luck there, kid. I hope you'll be able to use it pretty well." This is where Naruto, he takes the sword, he puts it on his back, and now he's walking. He's walking back to his training spot. He's training and slashing and kind of dashing with his sword with slashes and all that. And yeah. Of course, this is where, the sword is kind of being able to he's using it pretty well and all that with usually one hand or two hands and all that. But yeah. He doesn't mind the weight or anything like that. He's training in his physical stats and all that. because he now just sees that he's alone again. He sees that he needs more power. More power. He needs more power. Just how, like, Nero also wanted more power for the desires he wanted. But yeah. Now, I know someone, I remember someone asked me to make what if Naruto was a reincarnation of Virgil or V or anything like that? I instead wanted to do Nero. So yeah, because Nero's an interesting character. Now, I know I was also going to I was actually also thinking of making what if Naruto was the reincarnation of Dante? Because Dante is like the most overpowered character in Devil May Cry. Because this man, even though he's not even the protagonist in the video game, he still whooped ass. He even beat Virgil, his own brother and all that. But yeah, another point, going back to what if, is where Naruto just keep training and all that. He just keeps training and all that, punching the tree and all that. And yeah, of course, this is where, well, we go into Naruto just kind of training. Now, of course, this is where Naruto accidentally not accidentally. He He was just training and all that until he kind of cut himself a little bit with his own sword in his right arm. And of course, this is where someone actually walked up to him and says, "Yo, what's good?" She had a girl voice and all that, and this is where Naruto turned around to see someone with kind of brownish hair and glasses. This girl is named Nico. Now, of course, yes, if you know this character from Devil May Cry, yes, this is the same person. Now, of course, she says that her name was Nico, and of course, she looks at Naruto and sees that little cut and does kind of just pull out bandages and says, "Here." And just put it on Naruto's arm and says, "So, what are you doing out here?" It's where Naruto, it's kind of dark and all that a little bit, was kind of turning dark. And Naruto says, "Training." He just like said it coldly and all that. And this is where Nico says, "You don't need to be rude, you know that." This is where Naruto says, "My name is Naruto Uzumaki." Well, he was about to say Naruto until he changed his name to Nero. This is where Nico says, "Interesting, very interesting." Huh, Nero. That's very interesting. This is where, well, Naruto, he just says, "Yeah. I'm just training because I want to get stronger. That's all." This is where Nico said, "I guess that's probably one thing you want to be stronger and all." Naruto says, "Yeah, pretty much." This is where Naruto, he kind of did accidentally, when he tried to cut at the tree and all that, he accidentally cut off his right arm. This is when Naruto started screaming a little bit and bleeding. This is when, Nico decides to kind of, one day, not at the same day and all that. This is where Nico kind of saw this and did kind of brought Naruto towards her own kind of house. It's mostly a shack that she made and all that. And she has multiple devices and like, gadgets that she made. She made this one, robot arm called, it's called Double Bringer. Yeah, Blinger. I don't know what you say. Well, yeah, Double Bringer, whatever you say. But yeah, Naruto got that arm for his right arm, and of course, it was a perfect fit. And actually, he felt like he already knew how to use it. He like moved his arm to a while and all that, and actually, got used to how to use it. So yeah. Now, Naruto was just getting used to his arm and all that. And yeah, of course, he did put bandages over it so people wouldn't suspect anything. Because after that day, it was the Chunin exams. So, of course, Naruto, he wanted to go into the Chunin exams and all that. And, of course, this is where Nico did tell him that also here's something else. And this is, a gun. She made a gun, and this is what's it called? The revolver. Well, a revolver for Naruto. It is, how should I say? Let me show you. This is the revolver that Naruto has, and it is called the Blue Rose. So it's like I forgot you call it. But yeah, it's like that weapon and all that. And Naruto kind of got it, and he did got ammo from what's called Nico, because Nico was the one to make it right now. But yeah. Of course, Naruto, since he got the revolver from Nico, Nico says, take care of my babies. This is where Naruto was confused and kind of flustered a little bit and says, what? Nico says, the, well, robot arm that you have and also, well, the gun that I just gave you. Yes, because Nico does call them her babies. So, yeah. So, of course, Naruto was just like saying, okay, peace, I gotta leave. I gotta rush up because, well, tomorrow's gonna be the tuning exams. See you later, Nico. Nico said, yeah, don't break my tool, what's it called, my babies, or I'll murder you. But, when I part, so Naruto waves and just dipped. Of course, Naruto kind of used, like, what's it called, a body flicker. Well, his own type of body flicker that he made. And his own type of body flicker, it's just feathers falling down. Well, not feathers. Kind of water falling down. Because he found out he has a water infinity and kind of a wind infinity. A little bit. But yeah, it just came naturally to him. But yeah, Naruto just kind of dipped and went back to his house or his apartments mostly. That's abandoned and all that. And Naruto kind of just went to sleep and all that. Still, like, feeling like hatred and all that towards the S-rank ninja that killed his brother and all that. But yeah, this is where Naruto, he woke up the next day, and of course it's the Chunin exams. This is where, well, Naruto is going towards the Chunin exams, and of course when he goes and gets there, he sees his, well, two teammates, Sasuke and Sasuke, and Naruto's a little bit taller than what's it called when he was like 4'9" or something. He's actually, well, 5'3". Not 5'3", yeah, he's 5'3". Naruto did grow up and did eat, like, healthy and all that. So yeah. This is where, what's it called, they go into the tuning exams and all that. And of course, this is where, well, Naruto is kind of, what's it called, in the tuning exams. And of course, people, well, how should I say, Kabuto still explains to them and all that. And of course, doesn't know about Naruto's, like, arm being robotic, the sword, or even the revolver. Naruto actually did put his sword, even though it's kind of huge, he managed to hide it or anything somehow. But yeah. Well, not hide it, he has it on his back. He just doesn't care that much. And of course, Sasuke and Sasuke notice how Naruto's personality just changes. From happy-go-lucky somewhat to, the fuck are you looking at? I will murder you. Yeah, Naruto's kind of pissed. He just doesn't care about his mask that much. He does care a little bit, but not much anymore. His brother is dead and he just doesn't care. This is where, well, Naruto, he's just like going to sit down. Of course, I should also mention, Naruto did kind of what's called met Konohamaru and all that. And Konohamaru was still friends with Naruto and tried to like play with Naruto one special day and all that. Naruto kind of followed up and all that. Of course, he met what's it called Conqueror and all that. This is where Naruto did punch Conqueror with his robotic arm. And of course, Conqueror felt like he went to sleep. That man went to sleep, okay? Of course, this is where Temari was about to attack Naruto, but saw Naruto, what's it called, blue eyes, and was kind of interested, and stopped trying to attack him. I don't know why. She doesn't know why, but yeah. Of course, Gaara did was about to start, what's it called, telling Conqueror and Temari not to do anything stupid, and yeah. Of course, Sasuke was there, yeah, you get the point. But Sasuke didn't see the sword, because Naruto kind of left it with Nico, so if she wanted to tweak on it or anything like that, she didn't do anything to it because, well, she kind of admired the design of the sword. So, yeah. This is where, yeah, the Red Queen. So, yeah. This is where, well, Naruto, he got back towards Nico's, like, shack and all that. And, of course, Nico just lives by herself because she doesn't have family and all that. So, yeah. Of course, Naruto has the sword. He grabs it, Tensei just leaves. Yeah, you get the point. So we go back into Naruto and the Chunin exams. Now, Naruto, he's just sitting down, of course, next to Hinata. And Hinata does still kind of blushes when Naruto was kind of happy and all that. Of course, when she looks at Naruto, she can see that Naruto's not happy at all. He doesn't care. Right now, he looks kind of pissed. Of course, Kabuto just says that he was a dead ass and all that. People say, when they heard about Naruto being the dead ass, they said, bullshit. Because Naruto looks tall as fuck. Naruto has a giant sword. Naruto's arm looked like he got bandaged up. Because, yeah, Naruto puts, like, bandaged arm and all. Like, bandage that up like Danzo does. But, yeah. Of course, it's called Naruto also has a revolver, but no one actually can see that. Because Naruto has a coat. Just like, what's it called, Nero does. So, yeah. So, of course, what's it called? He's not wearing orange right now. He's full on looking like Nero. He has the coat and all that. Blue coat. So yeah, he's kind of pissed. Now, of course, he's just wanting to become a chunin. He doesn't really have the desire to become a chunin for, well, the money and all that. He just wants to rank up fast enough to be a chunin so he can actually, well, get to do S-rank missions so he can find that S-rank ninja who killed his brother and killed him. Naruto's mostly doing this on revenge. But yeah, of course, as where, well, the Chunin exam started. Of course, Naruto thought this was like some kind of writing bullshit. And Naruto isn't smart to do this. Neither than Nero, what's it called? I feel like Nero, if he was here, he wouldn't even know what the hell to do. So Naruto doesn't even do jack shit. Hinata was about to help him, but of course Naruto, what he did is fell asleep instead. Or closed his eyes mostly. And so where, well, Naruto, he just closed his eyes a little bit. And of course, while he opens it, of course, as well. Hibiki saying, okay, the 10th question. No one gets up because Naruto didn't hear that 10th question. He kind of went to sleep a little bit, but yeah. Of course, this is where everyone kind of just freaks out when Anko smashes through and says, okay, all you bastards, get out. We're going to, well, the Death Forest. Of course, Naruto wasn't even argues with, like, the title of the forest, it's called. And, of course, he just walks with everyone else. Now, of course, where, well, the same thing will still happen. And, of course, Anko doesn't actually decide to throw a kunai because Naruto is somewhat paying attention. He's not mostly. But, yeah. Of course, this is where Naruto, he is just, like, walking, well, kind of running through the forest with his team. Of course, the Heavenly Scroll is with what's called Sasuke. Because they decided to trust, well, Naruto didn't trust her with shit. Sasuke didn't trust her with shit neither. But Sasuke says, I will be the best fit. Because, you know, Naruto probably would have lost his Sasuke-kun. Sasuke gives no fucks. He doesn't care. And, of course, Naruto just felt like punching Sasuke with his robotic arm. He just didn't give two fucks about her no more. But, of course, Naruto started acting funny and cheery and all. Just a little bit to fake him out and all that. And this is where they just said, okay, so they just kind of ran and all. And found, well, they did found a team and all that had an Earth Scroll and all that because Naruto, he didn't want to go use the bathroom, but it was mostly Sasuke. And mostly Sasuke and Naruto beat the crap out of, well, the people that had the scroll and all that. But yeah, Sasuke came back and says, so what happened? They have the Earth Scroll. Well, Sasuke's kind of just throwing it up and down. Naruto just doesn't care. Naruto actually cut one of the heads of, well, the ninjas. Sasuke was surprised that Naruto would not hesitate in cutting one of their heads off. But yeah. This is where Naruto just doesn't care. Of course, we go into, well, them kind of jumping from the forest. Well, jumping around. Of course, this is where, what's it called? Naruto was almost about to be kind of eaten by a giant snake until Naruto just cut it down and all that with his giant sword, with his red queen. This is where, well, Naruto kind of jumps onto like a branch and all that. And of course, Team 7 stops and all that. This is where Orochimaru still comes and still tries to fight against, well, not, what's it called? Get the smoke, but mostly gets Uchiha, the young Uchiha. But yeah. Sasuke and Naruto are kind of fighting against Orochimaru, but Naruto's kind of losing to Orochimaru and all that. And Naruto can see that he's, like, feeling pathetic. Like, he's feeling, what's it called, weak towards, what's it called, well, Orochimaru. And this is where both, what's it called, Sasuke and Sasuke are kind of fighting. Well, not fighting. Sasuke's useless ass didn't even help anything. So, of course, this is where, well, Naruto is fighting against what's called Orochimaru and actually still trying to cut him with his sword and all that, with his red queen. And of course, Orochimaru says, well, he like pulls out his own sword, the Kusanagi blade, and started clashing with what's called Naruto. Naruto says, you bastard. This is where Naruto's eyes went red, but they didn't went yellow, just red. This is where Orochimaru says, the nine-tailed fox, demon brat. I see. This is where Naruto, when he clashes with Orochimaru then went into his hands, kind of becoming purple, and he says, element seal prong seal until Naruto's stomach. Well, stomach. So, of course, Naruto went, he was like, you bastard. Naruto can still hold up the sword pretty well, and of course Orochimaru thought that Naruto was putting chakra, but saw that Naruto wasn't putting chakra. He was like, I see, so you're doing physical only. This is where Naruto tries to jump at Orochimaru, and Orochimaru tries to kick at Naruto, but then this is where Sasuke tries to attack, what's it called? Well, Naruto and Naruto and Orochimaru by using a fireball. Naruto managed to dodge and all that, and jump into a branch and all, and then it slip or anything. Sasuke's useless ass is still knocked out, but this is where Sasuke says, damn it, I miss. This is where, well, Orochimaru says, oh, hello there, what's it called, Sasuke. Still bites on what's called Sasuke. And Sasuke says, oh, bastard. This is where Naruto appears and slash at Orochimaru, like cutting his arm and all that. And Orochimaru just like regrow that easily by just going into what's called, and whatever grows form and all that. And this is where Naruto cannot react fast enough and all that. And this is where Orochimaru decides to cut Naruto's right arm. And actually, this is where Naruto's right arm started kind of gashing out blood. Well, not right arm. I'm going to say not right arm, but instead, what's it called? It just slashes his torso. He gets a slash to his torso and kind of falls backwards. This is where Orochimaru says, well, good luck, Sasuke, with my little present, and dips. This is where Sasuke wakes up, sees that Naruto's on the ground, kind of bleeding and all that, and sees that, well, Sasuke is hurt and all that. And this is where Sasuke says, she just decides to grab what's called Sasuke, and this is where Naruto says, what about me? This is where Sasuke says, screw you, dead weight. You just call him dead weight. This is where Naruto felt angry and annoyed about how powerless he was against Orochimaru. But of course, this is where he kind of falls into unconscious. And this is where, well, Naruto wakes up about like 2 hours later. Towards someone, well, not someone, something kind of just like licking on him. This is where Naruto looks up, it's a deer. This is where Naruto gets up a little bit and can see that his torso is healed. He doesn't know why he healed and doesn't really care. He does have a scar mark on there, but yeah. Now, this is not the Nine Tails or his chakra healing him. It is more something sinister that's actually healing him. This is where Naruto saw his red queen, and of course then looked at his right arm and saw that his right arm was kind of glowing a little bit. But yeah. So, Naruto was just like hurt and all that, and of course he got up and the deer just ran away. Of course, Naruto saw his sword, the red queen, just on the ground. Naruto grabs it and says, God damn it. I'm hurt and I'm pretty much seeing that this is annoying. But yeah. Now, the Nine Tails could not get in contact with Naruto, and saw that was kind of pointless in trying to get in contact with Naruto, and noticed that his container was gonna die. So, he didn't try. He was like, fuck. Because, yeah, the seal kind of fucked him up and all that. This is where Naruto, he's actually just walking through the forest, and for some reason, portals started appearing. Portals of, well, demons started pouring out. This is where Kurama sensed it and said, what the hell? A demon gate? Why did it open here? This is where Naruto, he just saw this and started dodging some of the demons trying to attack him. And Naruto just slashed through them with his like red queen. And the red queen actually kills the demons, because the red queen is an anti-demon slayer. Well, an anti-demon weapon. It's mostly to kill demons. Because this sword was actually created by, well, somewhat a blacksmith and also somewhat a priest. So yeah. So of course Naruto's easily cutting through these demons, and when he sees the gate, he decides to slash it with his sword and breaks that shit. He cuts it. This is where Naruto says, okay, I guess that's something new. So of course he actually goes through the forest doing this the whole time. And of course he did it for like 3 days, of course with Ka. Sasuke and Sasuke still fights against the Sound Fort, especially Sasuke going to a curse mark and all that. And this is where Naruto appears out of nowhere and says, hey, you fucks. This is where Naruto, he had a demon head on his, what's it called, like arm and all that, but he threw it back, like on his left arm and all that. And of course, this is where, well, Naruto says, what the hell is happening here? This is where Sasuke thought that Naruto died, and she was kind of angry, but then glad a little bit, but she doesn't know why. This is where she's only just thinking glad because, well, the dumbass didn't die and all that. But this is where she kind of saddened because she thought she would be on Sasuke's team fully, well, Naruto. Which is the stupidest idea for Sasuke to think about like that. That bitch can easily die by someone just breathing on her wrong and she just fell over and died. But yeah. Now we go into Naruto just caring less about people kind of glaring at him, especially Ino. Ino is glaring at Naruto because Naruto was not here to help Sasuke or Sakura, and well, yeah, Naruto just ignores her fully. He does not give two fucks about people right now, and Choji can notice this. Shikamaru is also noticing this right now. Ino's right now just like screaming at him and all that. That's where Naruto says, I had enough of this bullshit. This is where Ino was about to like slap at Naruto until Naruto backhanded his what's it called, right arm, slapping Ino into the fucking tree and say, "Shut up, God! How annoying can you fucking be? How about you shut the fuck up and shut up already, God." This is where Naruto just keeps getting annoyed and all that. And of course, Ino was surprised, and her like face is kind of red right now, not because of the blush or anything, but kind of just like from the hit and all that. Because Naruto full on backhanded her with his right arm, and his right arm is the robotic arm right now, the Devil Breaker. Now, of course, is where or not breaker, bringer, breaker, whatever it's called. This is where Naruto, he just doesn't care. This is where Sasuke gets kind of angry and rushes at Naruto. Naruto does the same thing to Ino, but to Sasuke. But this time harder, like way harder. That actually hits her in the face, like in the nose and all that. And just slaps her to a fucking tree. This is where Naruto just doesn't care. Naruto looks at Shikamaru and Choji. And this is where Choji was kind of afraid, but this is where Shikamaru kind of gets on guard because he doesn't know if this is actual Naruto or not. Naruto says, "What are you looking at?" This is where Rock Lee tries to attack Naruto and says, "I will do this for Sasuke," and this is where Naruto grabs him from the throat and just slam him through the ground. So yeah. This is where Neji and Tenten appears. This is where Naruto's getting annoyed with these people. Neji rushes at him trying to attack him and all that. And of course Naruto can see the movements for some reason. And this is where Naruto pulls out Red Queen and then slices at Neji, actually cutting him and, slashing him from the torso. This is where Neji goes, son of a bitch. This is where Tenten starts using her weapons, and of course Naruto easily cuts through it. And this is where Tenten actually noticed the weapon. Where has she kind of seen this weapon? And that reminds her, in her family, did her father already sell the weapon to this kid? Impossible. This is where Naruto says, "Get out of my fucking way and die!" This is where when Tenten used her weapons to try to attack Naruto, he kind of was caught. The Red Queen was modified by Nico. When Naruto can, caught? Well, okay, I don't know what I was talking about. Nico did not, mess with it. She didn't just do anything. But Naruto, with his sword, kind of does have a little, that click thing for like a motorcycle and all that. It can do three things. It can make him go faster, kind of jet up and all that. It can kind of increase his attacks and all that, like his explosion and all that. Or it can combust. I think that's the third one. Yeah. So of course Naruto just kind of uses his sword, and of course liquid comes out, and that's where explosions start happening. It exploded Tenten away, with her weapons kind of flying back also with her, and of course she's down to the ground. Naruto was saying, bunch of weaklings. This is where he looks at Shikamaru, and Shikamaru says, "Naruto, is that you exactly?" Naruto says, "No, it's not me. Now leave me the fuck alone. I gotta go get my two teammates." This is where Shikamaru is surprised that Naruto will actually cuss and not give two fucks about it. This is where Shikamaru was about to do shadow paralysis jutsu on Naruto. Naruto appears right in front of him, and Naruto just kicks him down. This is where he says, "Damn it, Choji, can you help me? Shoji says, how? I don't want to fight Naruto. This is where he says, just say Kai if it's a genjutsu on him. This is what he does. And he says Kai. And it's not a genjutsu. Naruto still kind of looks very pissed. And of course, his like jacket and all that kind of had a slash and all that. So yeah, he's very pissed. And he has a right to be pissed. And of course, this is where Naruto says, so, you're still up with your whole bullshit. You still hate me with those goddamn eyes. You still have anger. Just because that one bullshit time I said, oh, I didn't do jack shit and I wasn't trying to scare some kid off. That one free animation kid, whatever his name was or whatever. I didn't do jack shit, I just was looking around. But you, Sasuke Ino, and you, Choji, you are all there just blaming it on me. That's why I'm so done of using my mask. My brother died, and why the hell should I use my mask now? With you bastards being all alive, I should probably just kill you all and care less about it. This is where Shikamaru was kinda, well, he was just like, he kinda got it up and says, what are you talking about, brother? I thought you were just one kid. So Naruto says, of course you will never know about my life, because you never cared about knowing about my life. This is where Naruto rushes at Shikamaru, punching him in the face with his robotic arm. And of course, Naruto's arm, like the bandages, kind of just rip off after punching Shikamaru. And of course, it shows his arm just being all robotic. This is where Choji says, what is that? Naruto says, this is, well, a prototype arm. Or not prototype. A arm that was created from one of my friends. A good friend. I wouldn't say we're best friends that much. Me and her. But she's probably like another one that I actually cared. She's someone I probably cared more than you bastards who were fake to me. This is where Shoji was kind of scared. And if he gets punched by that arm, because that's what Ino, Sasuke, and even was called, Rock Lee, and now Shikamaru, were all kind of hit with, he's not trying to. This is where he kind of says, fine, a human bowling ball, and rushes at Naruto, and Naruto grabs him with the arm, lifts his shit up, and just throws him into the forest without caring that much. This is where, well, Choji was just thrown away and all that. What the hell with that? So, of course, this is where Naruto, he kind of went to go get his teammates, so Sasuke and Sakura, and run towards, well, the tower. Of course, that's where, well, one day passes, and of course, everyone started waking up and all that. So yeah, one day passes, and of course, this is where everyone started waking up again. It was first, like, what's it called? Mike Kai's team, and then it was Team 10. This is where all of them wake up, and they said, what the hell happened? This is where Neji's still kind of bleeding on it, and Tenten was the one to kind of punish him up and all that. And of course, Ino says, what exactly happened, Shikamaru? Shikamaru says, Naruto happened. He beat the crap out of all of us. He was kind of very pissed, and I need to learn more about his family. That's where Ino says, why? It might be connected to his family and why he was angry. This is where, well, Ino says, I don't care about his family. Goddamn bastard just kicked our ass and then just left. Fucking bastard. How the hell was he on the team with, what's it called, Sasuke and, well, Sakura? This is where it was called. Shikamaru says, I do not know. Then again, he doesn't really care if he's on, what they call it, Naruto was on the team with, well, Sasuke. He doesn't care if Sasuke gets hurt by Naruto. If he does, then he doesn't care. But yeah. Naruto, he just goes, and of course, when he gets to the tower, he walks in, he just opens what's called the scroll. This is where Kakashi kind of appears. And of course, Kakashi sees what's called Naruto, but then sees what's called, well, Sasuke and Sasuke are knocked the fuck out. When Naruto did get to the tower, what's it called? He kind of also saw, well, not didn't see, he doesn't see what's called, Gaara's team be there faster. Of course, this is where Naruto, he ignores him, and of course, this is where, well, Naruto just says, hey there, Kakashi. or not Kakashi. He says, "Hey there, Hatake. Here's both what's called Sasuke and Sasuke. I don't know what the hell happened to Sasuke, but not my problem." So Naruto's walking past him and all that, going through the door and all that. This is where what's it called? Kakashi noticed Naruto's arm and being robotic and not actual human arm and all that, and wondering what the fuck happened. This is where he sees what's it called Sasuke and sees that Sasuke has the curse mark. And it's kind of shocked, so decides to bring Sasuke towards his what's called corner and kind of seal the curse mark. So yeah. Also, he then grabs Sasuke. Sasuke was laying there, and he thought that Naruto grabbed Sasuke, but Sasuke was just laying there. And of course, when he got back, he saw Sasuke just laying there. So yeah. He then realized that Naruto doesn't care about his teammates right now. He doesn't know why, but he will explain. He will talk to Naruto later, after the tuning exam. This is where, Naruto, he was just in his room and didn't care. So of course, one day passed, and of course, everyone managed to get there. And yeah, I should also mention that a Sound Ninja team was also there. And this Sound Ninja was named Shiroi, and her two teammates were, one was named Christina, and the other one being named was called Salina. This is where, they are kind of pair up in matches, and Naruto is paired up with Kiba. This is where Kiba says, yes, I got the weakling. This is where Naruto, he didn't care. He showed his robot arm, and this is where Naruto had his sword. He pulls it out, and he looks at what they got Kiba, and Kiba says, what the hell is with the arm and that sword? Whatever, you're still a weakling. Naruto rushes at Kiba, slashing at him. Kiba was like, damn, he's fast. So of course, Kiba jumps back and gives what's called Shikamaru a pill so they can go using beast transformation. And this is where Kiba says, "Let's do this, Akamaru. Tetsugan Tetsu." This is where it was gonna hit Naruto, and Naruto, he just like what's it called, kind of twist the bike handle on the sword and all that, and then send some liquid and all that towards the Tetsugan Tetsu that's gonna hit what's called Naruto, and he just kind of light it up and it explodes and combusts towards the Kiba and Nakamaru. Everyone's shocked. Everyone just saw how the sword kind of reacts and all that. This is where Akamaru, he was already kind of knocked out. He was surprised with the explosion and knocked out mostly. The explosion mostly hit him. So of course, this is where Kiba say, "I'm not gonna give up, you bastard. I won't give up." This is where Naruto pulls out his revolver and starts shooting at what's it called Kiba. Shoot him both in his leg, like twice, because, it has two barrels in the revolver. And he just shot what's it called Kiba twice in both of his legs. This is where Kiba falls down and Naruto walks towards him with his revolver and his gun. I mean, not revolver. His revolver and his sword. So, the what's called Blue Rose and the Red Queen. This is where Naruto walks towards him. And Naruto was about to just take Kiba's head off. Because, Kiba wasn't giving up and Naruto just doesn't care about people. This is where Hiruzen saw how merciless Naruto was. He was kind of afraid for Naruto kind of becoming like this. Since his brother, Kasu was dead. So, of course, this is where, the Proctor actually stops Naruto's sword from actually colliding with with Kiba's head. Because that was Naruto's intention the whole time. He doesn't care about killing anyone. And this is where the Proctor says, he gave up. You don't need to attack him. Naruto realized that, the Proctor stopped his attack with his own sword. So, since this is Hizashi, I think so, blocked it with his own sword. And this is where Naruto, he stops trying to, swing at Kiba and clash with what's it called, Proctor. And he just put his sword back and says, whatever. Naruto put this gun back away. This is where Hiruzen says, I have to talk to that boy. If he goes any longer, he will be able to, he not go any longer. If I don't talk to him, he will be able to kind of just kill his own ninjas, his own comrades. Which I have a great feeling that he doesn't care about anyone. damn it. Why the worst time with Naruto's career being a ninja has to, well, kind of hate him and hate his kind of family. I'm sorry. So, that's why Naruto, he just walks, well, back to the stage and all that, and people were shocked, especially Hinata. Kurenai was kind of mad at Naruto, but Naruto just doesn't care. He has, like, this dead emotion, like, careless. He just doesn't care. That's why everyone was shocked. Shiroi was very impressed. She was very impressed. She liked how Naruto was merciless and was about to stab his own comrade. This is where, well, that was happening. And of course, this is where, well, there's also some ninjas from the Mist. I should also mention that the, what's called Mist Revolution Army did beat Yagire. And yeah, Mei is actually the new Mizukage. And so she did send some Mist ninjas to kind of be there. And they are there. So yeah. The Mist ninjas are actually mostly going against the Sound ninjas. But yeah, Shoto's team. But yeah, this is where, well, we go through it. The same thing happened mostly through all of them. Except for Sasuke was using some fireballs, but the curse mark was hurting him a little bit. But yeah, also he was told by Kakashi not to use the curse mark or anything. So yeah. This is where, well, Naruto, he didn't care about the matches or anything. We're just having his eyes closed and annoyed with everything. And this is where, well, Shiroi was going against one of the Mist Ninjas. Now this Mist Ninjas, Mist Ninja had what's it called, reddish hair, but also kind of snowy white hair. And her eyes were kind of mixed, which it was purple in both eyes. This is where she uses lava style, and then ice style at what's it called, Shiroi. Shiroi managed to dodge the attacks, and then Shiroi uses her own sword and all that and start clashing. Now, of course, with Sasuke and Ino still fights, Naruto says, they're trash. But when he opens his eyes to see both Shiroi and the girl from the Mist, kind of clash and all that, he kind of noticed that, well, the what's it called? He noticed the ice style and remember Haku and how he died and all that, and kind of hated himself. How he wasn't strong enough to protect what's called Haku, because Haku was somewhat of a friend of his. Well, he believed for him, even though they met for a little bit, to believe to her that he was friends with Haku. I don't know why I'm stuttering. But yeah. Now, of course, this is where, well, he also noticed the lava stone and the white hair girl with silver eyes kind of fighting with the sword technique. But yeah. That's where Naruto just sees the fight go on for a little bit until, well, they are unable to kind of keep fighting because Shiroi was kind of stuck in ice and all that, like her legs were frozen and all that. And one of her arms were kind of burning a little bit. I don't know why I said kind of twice. God. And of course, this is where, well, the other girl was kind of cut multiple places. And the sword did have poison, so of course she was paralyzed. And of course, this is where the proctor says, it's a tie. This is where both of them say, good match then. Even though they managed to talk. Naruto was very interested in both of them, but yeah. Now, this is where Naruto didn't care. Now, of course, the other matches were all the same in the original canon. Rock Lee went against Gar, but Gar had an upper advantage because, well, Rock Lee did take a lot of damage, and most of all that damage was from, well, one hit by, well, Naruto. So, yeah. So, of course, he couldn't really go into the gates mostly, so yeah. Of course, we go after that. Everyone's leaving and all that until, well, Hiruzen told Naruto to wait up. Of course, this is where Kakashi also stayed, but with Sasuke and all that. And this is where Hiruzen told Kakashi to leave and just go. And this is where Kakashi was about to just say, but I have to talk to my student. This is where Hiruzen says, go now. This is where Kakashi says, fine. He probably was thinking that Hiruzen was gonna, like, ban Naruto from taking the tuning exams and kind of stop him from being a ninja and all that. So, yeah. But that was not the case. He looked at Naruto, and Naruto just looked at him with a cold, motionless eyes. This is where Naruto says, what do you want, old man? This is where Hiruzen says, Naruto, Are you just angry because of how your brother died? Naruto ignored him and started walking away. Haruzen said, "Stop, Naruto." This is where Naruto stopped and said, "Yes, what do you want more? I just want to be strong enough to protect those I love. There's not a lot, and I don't care." But yeah. This is where Haruzen kind of smiles that, well, Naruto has some friends. Not much, but yeah. This is where Haruzen says, could it be what's called the Konoha 12 that they are your friends? Naruto says, the fuck? No. They bastards can go die, I don't care about them. Haruzen was confused and he was kind of saddened that Naruto didn't care about the Konoha 12 and all. And of course, this is where Haruzen says, then who? This is where Naruto says, a girl that I met, name of Nico. I met her in the forest, and she was the one to kind of help me out when I cut my arm on accident. This is where Haruzen saw Naruto's kind of robotic arm, and nodded. And then he says, is she a shinobi, or... Naruto says, no, she's, of course, nothing like that. And I refuse to even let her kind of become a shinobi. She's better off just making gadgets like these. Of course, that's just because I don't want her to die, just like Kazu died. Now, if you don't mind, old man, I'm gonna go train. I'm gonna go train so I can kick the shit out of the Uchiha. This is where Haruzen kind of smiles a little bit with that. This is where Haruzen says, just remember, Naruto, you're not alone here. You never was alone. That's what Naruto says. That's what you say, but I'm always alone. Naruto, he disappears with his own, body flicker, and Haruzen was surprised with Naruto having a body flicker already, and that of an element style, but yeah. Now, of course, this is where Naruto, he's with, what's it called? Well, he's at his training spot near, what's it called, Nico's, shack and all that. So, yeah. This is where Naruto, he is, well, just leaving and all that. He left and he got back to, well, training and all that. He's just training it because he did his hard. It was 1 month and all that, the final shooting exam. But yeah. Of course, we go through the month. Of course, he still didn't meet Jiraiya or anything like that. He doesn't care that much, but yeah. Now, of course, Naruto, here's what's it called, he still had the element seal, and of course, he did take off his shirt one time. And of course, this is where, well, Nico just wanted to analyze just to make a, well, gear up robot and all that, because, well, there was a slash still, and of course, Nico did make, his, jackets and all that, made more than just one, but yeah. Just in case Naruto did get her in tuning them, but yeah. This is where she says, that slash. This is where Naruto didn't realize, but he was putting chakra into his, stomach. And of course, there was a seal on it. Now, Nico, she's actually pretty good with seals. And notice that the seal is actually the element seal. This is where she says, you realize that you have the element seal on you. What happened exactly? Naruto says, I was fighting against the snake bastard and then my teammates decided to left me. Fucking assholes. This is where Nico says, I see. This is where she says, I don't know much of the element seals, but I can undo it. Naruto says, sure, do it. This is where she does the element seals and, well, not the element seals, the undoing the element seal. And of course, Naruto can now use chakra. Now he can walk easier into the chakra and all that, or kind of walk up trees and all that. Because he wanted to wonder why he couldn't really use his body flicker that well, but yeah. Now, of course, this is where, well, we go into Naruto's training of the 1 month. Of course, he does train with what's it called, Nico and all that. Mostly with her, kind of robots that she actually made. Of course, Naruto's kind of trying to slash through them and all that, and yeah. But yeah. Now, of course, this is where, well, Nico just says, so, what's it called, Naruto? How are you able to kind of be able to, how should I say? Use chakra much or anything? Why do you have so much still? Naruto says, I have no clue. My brother, well, he wasn't really much my brother. He was just a part of my life, but I called him mostly older brother. Didn't know exactly why, and the old man doesn't really tell me anything. I don't really know about my family. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something, but with the seal, what's it called, the element seal happening, Naruto actually did awoken, well, something. He awoken his demonic energy and all that, which his hair kind of changed color, and his eyes kind of, what's it called, kind of changed also to a brighter kind of blue. So yeah, of course that's what happened. So yeah, of course when Nico did undo the seal, nothing really changes from Naruto with his white hair or anything like that. Also, Hiruzen realized that happened. So yeah, he even asked what happened, but Naruto just says, "Oh, I just fought against some kind of snake bastard." But yeah, Naruto disappeared after that using the body fucker. But yeah, so of course Naruto just training, and of course his hair is white. And when he was fighting against what to call his like somewhat friends, not really he can call them friends, but yeah. Of course is where Naruto fought against him and really just had white hair and all that. When he fought against Kiba, he had white hair. So yeah. So Naruto's just kinda just training and all that in the 1 month. But this is actually where I'm gonna leave it off. Have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, potato, potato.